Okay, ladies and gentlemen, 2 minutes past the hour, so you know what that means. It means we'll be getting started now. So again, an absolutely huge thank you to everybody for registering for the webinar this afternoon. We're talking about the power of V, of course, the V being video, and how to best use video on social media. We've got 2 live special guests this afternoon and another via video as well. So the duration of today's session will probably be around about 45 minutes. So get yourself a nice drink, settle down. We've got some absolutely fantastic content for you this afternoon. So before we get started, just quick house rules. If you've not been on a go-to webinar before, I know there's been plenty of these in the last few weeks. All webinar attendees are muted just to avoid any background noise, any distractions, any barking dogs, any kids, the other half. Please use the questions option on the go-to webinar control panel. If you do pose any questions, at the end I usually get to them if there's anything pertinent that you need answering. So if you do want that answering, just make sure you don't click on leave your webinar. Otherwise, it appears that I'm rude. I've not answered your question. It's just that I don't have the ability to do that if you leave the webinar. You may just need to use the orange button just top left of the graphic here, which is to expand, and then you'll be able to open up your question section. So today's agenda, we'll probably around about 45 minutes, obviously dependent on your guys' questions in the room. I encourage you guys to ask our experts today questions. They are experts in their own field. That's why we've got them on the webinar this afternoon. So please do ask them questions, work them hard. I'm going to start with a quick introduction to Chris and Ben. We've got the John Craven News Round special. We've got a great presentation from Chris. We've then got a short video from the lovely Jade down at Jacobs Hill on the south coast. Jade's talking about how their agency down there used video on social media. I've then got a live unscripted Q&A with a gentleman called Ben Moore, who's absolutely fantastic. I'm really excited about that. And then finally, we've got some live chat insights from the Brief Your Market partners, Yondell, on what's been happening with video over the last few weeks. So to introduce the 2 lighty lads that we've got on the webinar this afternoon, we've got the debonair-looking Mr. Chris Target there. No Photoshop happening there, Chris. I take it that was done before the barber shut, mate.
Yeah, look at the length of it now.
Look at that. It's proper lockdown cut. Chris, he's an ex-country boy and independent estate agent. So he's an estate agency, even there's only one of them. So he's trod the boards, even bless him. So he's in a really great position to understand our industry and how he can give you practical advice. We've got Mr. Ben Moore as well. Ben has got his own company for social first media content. It's bespoke content for estate agents. I had a really good look at Ben's website. There's some absolutely fantastic stuff on there. Really excited to chat to Ben on that. So yeah, that's our panel for today. So we've got a fantastic news round section and the lovely looking John Craven there. So this is just stories I picked up over the last 24 hours, which I feel will be worth sharing with you guys, and obviously where we are at currently with the re-engaging of the UK property market. So I think we all know that the new norm is the new buzz phrase that everybody is talking about. This is a picture of an agency's office, as you can see on the left-hand side here. You know, this will become, you know, certainly, well, how long we don't know, for the next few weeks or months, the type of thing you will be expecting, of course, when your offices are open. They're not open yet. And of course, we're here today to talk about the absolute power of video. And again, in the webinars before, even myself, Chris or Christopher Watkin, of course, there's been an absolute re-explosion, I guess, of estate agents using video. And of course, it's changing a lot. So I know I'd like you guys to get involved. So we've got a poll to get started with, so to get you guys interacting. So nice, easy questions to start with. Are you offering video viewings? And if you are, what platform are you using? Nice and simple to start with. No, yes I am, and it's Zoom. Yes I am, I use FaceTime. Yes, I am. It's WhatsApp, or yes, I am. I'm using Skype. And if I've missed anything off there, any obvious ones, I do apologise. I was racking my brains early thinking, oh, I want to make sure I miss any on there. So I'll just give you another 10 or 15 seconds for all the guys in the room to have a vote there. So again, are you offering video viewings? That's not valuation, video viewings. And what platform are you using if you are? Now give it 5 seconds there. Interesting stuff. Okie dokie. Right. So the results are 30% saying no, my business isn't offering video viewings at this time. 15% are, and they're using Zoom, of course we know it's a free platform. 15% using FaceTime, and of course that would be bespoke to an iOS, i.e. an iPhone device or an iPad. And interestingly, I didn't expect this actually. The majority, 41%, doing video viewings are actually using WhatsApp. So that's some interesting stuff there. So again, you know, good to share with you guys in the room what your peers up and down the country are actually doing. So I picked up this article. I think it might have been actually published on Bank Holiday Monday, but this is an agency in the east of London called Home Finders. And basically what this gentleman, Haydar Seri, has done is he's given all of his customers and communicated to his customers, be that tenants, potential vendors, of course, that are with him at the moment, but also, interestingly, potential buyers. What his company has done to safeguard viewings and what have you for his company. I'm going to leave it on the screen for you guys to have a look. There is a link which I'll send out to the actual article if you want to copy paste in this, by the way. So yeah, some really cool, interesting stuff. So I'm just going to flick onto the first slide here, and so you can just see the points that the guy's gone through here. Now, again, I think the interesting part here was they went very granular into the safety measures that this agency will be doing. I've actually seen some media in the last hour, actually, it was on Instagram, you know, having like, you know, a safety protocol. So I think a lot of people, I think the law says that you have to put it on your front door. But again, there's still a lot of people very nervous to go out into the big wide world. I know my mother's certainly one of them, you know, she's certainly not in the vulnerable age category yet. But again, I think this was really cool that this guy was taking a proactive approach of actually telling people before they actually considered going out of their own homes. And again, very interesting point 3 here. We will not show any properties unless applicants have watched the virtual tour first. So that was very, very interesting, by the way. Second part of that's now on the screen. So I'll put myself on mute so you guys can digest that information. I do apologise. I was on. Yeah, okay, I've unmuted myself there. Thanks, Chris. Yeah, so I was rambling away there. I realised I was on mute. So yeah, interesting there on point 5 that the guys here will not be doing viewings where properties are currently tenanted. Again, obviously, if you've got any tenancies that are winding down over the next 2 or 3 months, you know, it'd be interesting to see where the tenants will say, oh, hey, by the way, yeah, we will let people in, whether they'll sort of sit in a garden or go out for a cycle or a walk, let's say, if they haven't got any outdoor space. Some more points on the screen now. I'll just let you guys have a quick look at what's on there now. I think key points with this slide here is the fact that point 13 there, they're going to leave 3 days in between tenancies. So again, that's the first time I've seen that. But again, of course, as we all know, over the coming days and the weeks, you know, and again, I apologise for the term, the new normal will, you know, become so, and whether other letting agencies or indeed government advisory as such, that landlords and new tenants will have to do that. Okay, this is the last part just now on sales and lettings valuations. Okay, on there again, yeah, I'll just, you know, read you obviously right there. It is at this point I put out will be offering both virtual and virtual viewings and valuations indefinitely. So, you know, I've seen certainly some agents who have said that I think the video thing possibly will be a fad. I do disbelieve that in totality. I think what will happen is that agents will become a lot more savvy to technology, and indeed become a lot more effective in working and not having negs maybe going out and showing people around properties that have no intention of buying or letting, where they can vet the potential tenants and buyers with a virtual tour, which of course will not cost you any money on a free platform. So this is possibly more for the guys in the big cities around the country, but very interesting. I've mentioned this in the previous webinars about a tick up in overseas interest in the UK property market. This was development up in Suffolk. Looking at the bottom sentence there, sales secured in Hong Kong, Singapore and Dubai. And on the second slide, I'm going to show you on that here. I'll just let you just read the text on there. Very, very interesting stuff, by the way. So I guess on that, so off my comments on there, of course, we've all seen the news over the last week with the tensions in Hong Kong. And of course, we've already seen an increase in Chinese investment into London because of the tension between China and the US. I think that'll be a very interesting thing, more so obviously London centric, I think. But again, if you do have any overseas investors in your database, do speak to me, speak to the team, brief your market. How you can actually talk to them specifically if they are in the Far East and in the Middle East as well. It's a very interesting way in which we can do that automatically for you. So on to our first star guest of the day. Thank you for your patience, Chris. So what I'm going to do, I'll pass over to Chris, and I'm just going to flip the slides for Chris here. So Chris, over to you, sir.
Thanks very much. Cheers for having me on. So my name's Chris Target. I'm from our company Social for Brokers. So I look after social media for estate agents and mortgage brokers as well. I've got a property background myself. I worked in a countrywide estate agent, so got a real good understanding of the market, how we want to drive MAs, instructions, mortgage appointments, solicitors, all that jazz. And video can definitely help you do that on social media. So what I'm going to talk to you about today is a bit of a background into social media and how it can effectively be used, some tips on kind of Facebook Lives and also video, And then Ben, I know he's going to touch on a bit later, the real in-depth analysis of how to make videos work for you. So we get you to skip to the next slide, please. So I touched on this last time I was on. Can't just use social media to post your properties, and that little lad is gutted. You can see there, you do not want to be just uploading properties. It's so easy for us to post a Rightmove link to our Facebook page and think, right, that's my social media done for today. Okay, people are going to go to Rightmove, or they're going to go to your Briefly Markets, they're going to go to your property portals to actually find a property. So they're not going to look on Facebook as much as we want them to. They're not going to use it as much. So that's where videos of properties, and it's quite interesting to see that from that poll, 30% of people don't do any video tours at the moment for properties. There's a big market there that you can really hone in on. You can upload your videos to Facebook. They're going to have a much better impact than you uploading a link to your property. So I'll get you to pop onto the next one, please. So the videos is a great way as well to break up the content on your Facebook page. So you could have a link to a specific article about industry news. You could have a post about something that's going on in the world, like it was a bank holiday Monday or Father's Day coming up. Then you can use a video to kind of intersperse your content and break it up and keep your audience engaged. We love watching videos on social media. We can see the huge rise of TikTok. I'm sure everybody's been doing a few of the dances in lockdown, but video is taking social media to that next level, and it's going to do the same for businesses as well. So if I get you to skip to the next one, please, mate. So Facebook Lives. Whenever I talk to estate agents about this, there's like this dread of fear in them that they don't want to be on the camera. But I promise you, they are huge for estate agents or letting agents. 3 things here that you could do that's going to help you in the long term. So the first thing I'd do is I'd hold a question and answer session. So put a post out the week before and say, we're going to be answering questions about the current climate or about how to add value to your home, and then jump on a Facebook Live and answer them. I'll be honest, you might not get anybody log on to that Facebook Live, the first one, but what you can do is save it and post it to your Facebook page. So there again, you've got some more content. As you do that consistently, what you're going to do is get people used to your face and your voice. And I know Ben will talk to people about this in a bit. If they can get used to you on social media before you even step foot in their house, you're already onto a winner. And I know Ben's got a great story about that. If they can get used to you, you're going to be the person they're going to call, opposed to John Smith's estate agents down the road who have never even seen that person's face. Okay. Facebook Lives can also allow you to become a thought leader around property in your area. So again, if we do a comparison, you've got John Smith estate agents that doesn't really upload much. Then you've got you who's doing Facebook Lives and talking about how COVID has affected the market. You're doing Facebook Lives about certain areas where property prices have increased in the area. These are all things that are going to position you as a thought leader in property around your area. So big on Facebook Lives, and it's great because you can take that video and it will save it to your Facebook page, and you can use that over and over again. It pops the next one, please, mate. So this is a massive tool that I've found, and I know Ben uses it as well. If you record videos, this website, Veed.io, is going to be your best friend for the next 12 months that you use it. You can literally upload a video up to 20 megabyte size, which I've seen it's about a minute and a half, and you can automatically add subtitles. It is a huge thing because not everybody views videos with sound on, because they might be on public transport, they might have just put the kids to bed and they don't want the sound on. You can hit one button and it automatically adds the subtitles. You can then go back through those subtitles and edit anything that they might not catch up on. They might put the wrong word in there, or you need a comma in there, so you can edit the subtitles. You can also add your company logo to every video. It's a great branding tool. Get your logo on there. If somebody shares that video, it's free branding for you because they're going to share it with all of their friends. And then you can add images into the video wherever you please. You can have them pop up in the corner. You can have them there all the time. You can input emojis. It's an amazing tool and it's free. You can do all of this for free. And then I think the paid version is about 25 quid a month. But that free version, you can create videos on there. You can be creative as you want, but make sure you add subtitles. It's going to be your best friend for building videos. So that's going to be my top tip for today. Everybody go and have a research on that. Okay. So that brings me to the end of kind of my input on video. Facebook Live is a big one, but you just use it to break up the content. You're gonna find that more people are going to interact with your page if they can see you as a person and bring that personal edge to your company.
Chris, I've got a question just on Facebook, if I can. Is it for agents to set up groups or actual pages on Facebook? What gets the what gets
I would always say pages first. Okay, you can. I know there's some people out there saying set up groups, which is great because you can get all of the people in there. But what you may find is kind of like your vendors or your tenants or your buyers start to talk to each other in that group. Right. I mean, it's a great thing, but if something bad happens, then it just fuels the fire. That's why I'd recommend setting up a Facebook business page.
Gotcha. Perfect. That's good advice, mate. Thank you ever so much. That's lovely. Right, so before Ben comes on, I've got a second part of the poll for you today. So again, it's nice and simple. For a sunny Wednesday, Chris has very kindly offered free social media clinic so you can have a look at your social media. Again, it's no obligation. Chris is an expert in his field. If you would like Chris to contact you to just do a short look at your social media, of course, your Facebook, your Twitters, your Instagrams. I've heard of Twitch now, Chris. Is anybody using Twitch that you know?
It's more of a gaming platform, that one. So you can, I suppose you could turn it into something where you could live stream your property tours.
Yeah.
That's another one I didn't touch on that, actually. I mean, it'd be great to do a Facebook Live of a new property that's come to the market.
Yeah, I mean, we know that, open houses under the phase 2 government guidelines are still banned. So, yeah, that's a really good one. Okay, so thank you for voting. That is absolutely fantastic. So, right, so we've got lovely Jade from Jacob Steel. So we've got Jade, very experienced estate agent and marketeer. Jacob Steel, brilliant outfit on the South Coast. She's very, very kindly done a video for us today. So I'm just going to pop that on screen. So please enjoy the next video. It'll be about 3 minutes.
You're back on, Dave. Is it? Can't hear anything, Dave.
Okay.
There we go.
Right, we are back. We are back. Sorry about that. That was a slight panic for me there. The whole thing froze up. What's going on? Gremlins in the system, and Ben was there getting ready as well. We were
I was born ready.
born ready. Good man. Man with a confident beard saying that as well. Fantastic. So, without further ado, look at the amount of beards on that screen there. Right. Wow. So, thank you so much. Ben, I was introduced to by Chris. Let's just tell yours, if you can, please, what you do.
Yeah, no worries. So you kindly introduced me at the start of the presentation there, as Ben does content, obviously the website you can all see on the screen just now. First and foremost, I'm an estate agent, guys, so I'm an independent agent. I do create content for estate agents, but this is much bigger than my sales pitch. What we need to talk about is the power of video and how you should be embracing it full stop in your business. So we've covered some great sort of bits and pieces in terms of what Chris has mentioned in his slider and what the lady on the video just now went through. I agree with absolutely everything that I've heard. And unfortunately, I've not got any sort of fancy slider or anything that can take you through. So you just sort of fixed looking at my ugly mug while I kind of try and give you my 2 pence worth. But essentially, I started embracing video in a big way in our estate agency, probably about 6 months ago now, and we really tried to kind of take note of success leaving clues in other sectors and try and really apply that to property. So you look at people like, say, Joe Wicks, for example, in the fitness space, who's built this incredible personality-driven brand. He's got such a loyal community of millions of people who've really bought into him because he's led with value on the front end. That's now converted into a loyal fan following with people who just think it's the best thing since sliced bread, and they're throwing money at him to, you know, get access to his fitness resources. And I kind of thought, well, why can't that work in the property space? Because let's face it, other than discussing the weather, one thing that British people love is people and property. So guys, we're in such a blessed industry to be able to sort of embrace video marketing and create amazing content that people are going to click with, pay attention to, resonate with, and get value from. So that's kind of why we took that concept and just absolutely ran with it. From, like I say, about 6 months ago. It takes time, it takes patience, but after doing that consistently, we're now starting to reap the fruits of that and seeing the real upside of planting those seeds.
Brilliant. So, Ben, Chris mentioned you had a good story to tell us now. Not a good story. What was that story then?
I think he set the bar a bit high there. Let's keep those expectations low, guys. But no, what I think Chris was alluding to, so just to kind of first untouch this, so people always ask me, what's the best, what should I be doing? Does it need to be high production? Do we need a videographer? Can I do it on my phone? Can it be DIY? How polished or how basic can it be? And I think there's definitely a time and a place for kind of both types of content. And what Chris was alluding to was this situation where I've been posting loads of lifestyle type videos, so behind the scenes stuff, FAQs, been sharing, giving like viewers an insight into my day, into how my week looks. And there's been a lady who's been following us on Facebook now pretty much since day one, but she's been engaging with a lot of content, and as soon as she popped up in my inbox requesting a valuation, straight away I knew who it was. And she booked an appointment. I went round to the property to do the valuation, and when I went in, there was a coffee with 2 sugars and there was a Snickers waiting for me, because she's seen through my Instagram stories and some bits and pieces that she's seen on Facebook, she knows I take my coffee with 2 sugars and I'm quite fond of a Snickers. So I've gone in there, all those corporate barriers have been taken down. We've built this relationship through a video that I wasn't even aware of. So when I stepped through the door, it was literally just like greeting an old friend. And as you can imagine, that was one fantastic appointment for that exact reason. And that's just one tiny example of the power that video gives you in terms of being able to establish those relationships with people at scale without even realizing that you're doing it. You're building that trust, but you're also hacking that authority. So when it comes to the crunch of doing business, like I say, you know, that might be in 6, 12, 18 months time. But once you've done that, you've got all that trust equity built. So it makes your job a lot easier when you're in the living room.
Great. See there, you undersold that before. It's a great story, that, bud. Is that a Snickers bar waiting as well? Wow.
That's it, mate. What a bonus.
I take it you got the instruction.
Yeah. We got the instruction. Yeah. Got the instruction.
So what type of videos do you do? Obviously, I've had a look at some of your stuff on YouTube, which Chris has sent over to me. Just tell you, if you can, you know, what type of style videos you do.
Okay, so let's start with a hook. So this is what gets people really interested in the brand. So we look at programs like Location, Escape to the Country, Homes Under the Hammer, all these programs that have been around since we were in nappies. They've stood the test of time, and they're still here today making fresh series because people tune in. The ratings are consistent, and that's because people love property. They love nosying around properties. They might be looking up to a property with aspiration. They might be looking down on a property with judgment, but we love learning about property. So we've got this series, complete rip-off of Escape to the Country. It's called Escape to the Fylde. So I'm based on the Fylde Coast. So for every property that we bring on, we do this full kind of lifestyle-rich, presenter-led video tour. So we'll go to a local point of interest, a local landmark, a local selling point. We'll upsell the area, the community, the lifestyle aspect, and then we'll do a presenter-led tour around the property. That's done with like a camera crew, high production. It just looks like a TV program. So what we're seeing is that we're promoting that then through social media. Our vendors happy because they're getting great content, they're getting more exposure, better chance of selling for the best price. But what we're also seeing is that other vendors are looking onto that, thinking, wow, do you know what? I really wish that my property was featured on that video. And people are starting to sort of reach out because they want that quality of content for their home. And it's funny, you know, we've all got different demographics, I'm sure, and different ends of the market that we're working to, and different kind of ideal client avatars. But whenever I say to my avatar, have you ever seen Escape to the Country? They go, yeah, we watch that every week. Why? Well, we've got a series called Escape to the Fylde, and straight away, just because of that brand element, the penny drops. They buy into it. They can straight away resonate with exactly what we're saying and why we're doing it. And it's just a great USP that gets us 3 more doors, wins us more instructions, and gives us more great content, so we can start, you know, feeding the machine and kind of building that loop. And this is funny as well, so just kind of to stick on the high production stuff for a second, obviously I'm sure everyone watching, they've seen that Rightmove have got that online viewings tab now. So since lockdown, you can make it more explicitly clear that video content is available for a particular listing. So we obviously uploaded all the video tours that we've got for the properties that we've brought to market. We activated that tab. So now people are finding their way to the YouTube channel, checking out those videos. And I've actually had, only the last couple of days, I've had 2 people in 2 days call and say, oh, I've seen this property that you're marketing. We've not sold ours yet. I just wondered what the crack is. What do you do? How does this work? What does it cost? Can you come around to have a chat with us? So straight away, it's working as a bit of an evergreen lead generator now for valuations and bringing more vendors to us that otherwise I would never have heard of. So that just shows you the power of the production stuff. But going back to your original question, and I know I'm rambling here, guys, so I'm going to shut up in a second.
Don't worry.
But you know, there's a firm place in the market for the DIY filming. So you just sat at home with your phone, or sat in your office, or doing, you know, a very basic walkthrough or whatever it is. I think there's something quite relatable and quite endearing. Share people into the picture. What's going on? What's going well? What's not? What are your challenges? What are the highs? What are the lows? Cut people in and give them access to your business. They can then relate to you as people, and then obviously it helps again lower those corporate barriers and build that trust.
Awesome stuff. That's great, Ben. So I'm just going to put another poll on the screen for the guys here. So Ben's very kindly offer a free video consultation. Do you want to speak with Ben? I've seen some of his content. I think it's awesome. So if you want to chat with Ben, I can pass on your details. So if you want me to do that, I can. That's some super stuff, and again, I absolutely love the way Ben has taken a different approach to videos. Again, we've seen a lot of agents, I certainly have in the last 3, 4, 5 years, do the presenter-led thing, but it feels more like a news report than you know, like the stories we see. Ben said on the Homes Under the Hammer, Escape to the Country, and what have you. So no, I applaud Ben for that. That was absolutely fantastic. Again, for the guys that have posed questions. On the slide panel there, I will come to those at the end, but yeah, in the answer to a couple of questions, I will be sending these slides out afterwards, and a link to the video as well. So a huge thank you to everyone for getting involved on that, and again a huge thank you to Ben for that. We're into the final hurdle now, so I've got about 5 minutes till the end, and I'm going to have a quick talk just about, and again, you guys will know if you've been on the Brief Your Market webinars before, about me talking about live chat. This was just something I picked up for doing my Hotmails last night. I mean, live chat absolutely exploded over lockdown. The quite reason being is the fact that you guys have furloughed staff and you just simply do not have the resource to be answering all these calls and emails, and people might want an immediate answer to their queries. This is just something which was on my email from Santander Bank. As you can see there, you know, this isn't just, it's not just a clue to estate. I'm sure you guys know that. But again, this is where a lot of the big businesses are pushing people down. I'd probably say that a live chat operator is cheaper than putting somebody in a call centre in a city centre, for example. So again, I think this will continue to absolutely explode over the coming weeks and months. So how about what's happening in our industry, and what are we seeing, i.e. Brief Your Market and our proud partners Yondell? Very kindly, the guys there, Simon Taylor's offered me some information, and what they've basically done is have a look at some real life examples of what's come in over the last week. And again, I'll just let you guys have a quick look of what that I've been provided there. Some really cool, interesting stuff, I'm sure you'll agree. Now, interestingly, the one at the very bottom, if I can just draw your attention to that there, this is just indicative of how people have had a little bit of time on their hands. I've obviously taken out the full address. I produced a video taking photos and created scale floor plans. Wow. I think we all wish every vendor was like that. Then again, they're probably not scale, are they? Let's be honest. But again, really indicative of what's going on out there at the moment. Now, this is outrageously interesting. So, again, this is the guys at Yondell looking at 92,000 live chats. Look at the explosion. The blue is the video requests on live chat pre-lockdown. The video requests on live chat in lockdown. I mean, that is absolutely nuts. Again, if you guys aren't engaging in video or with live chat, again, I do urge you, I've worked with agents for many years, please have a look at it. I do know a lot of agents in limbo with regard to, do I furlough staff? Is this current spike in inquiries from Rightmove, Zoopla on the market going to carry on? Again, I do genuinely think it is worth you guys having a look at that, which brings me very nicely on to my last question of the day before we all go each other's ways. Would you like any more information on live chats? Again, for the guys, I do apologise for the guys that have been in the webinar before. I used to work for a property portal when I knew about Yondell, but then when I had a good look at their interface, I was actually really blown away with some of the commercials and what type of value that we're getting in the live chat with regard valuations for sales, for lettings and what have you. So again, if you do want the guys at Yondell to give you a tinkle and go through that, I do genuinely think that this is going to be an incredible trend we're going to see increase tenfold over the coming weeks and months as businesses re-engage post-COVID, also as well have a look at how they can make themselves more effective and profitable, which is what we're here for. That's the name of the game. So, coming next, Friday morning, set your alarms. Not too many drinks on a Thursday night, 11 o'clock. So it's not too early, don't worry. We've got a brilliant Q&A with the lovely Louise Jeffries at STL Auctions on plugging the pipeline revenue gap for estate agents. So we're going to talk about the real scenarios and basically what's happening out there. And of course, we'll be taking your questions as well during the webinar. So again, I'd just like to offer my absolutely huge thanks to Mr. Chris Target and to Ben as well for coming on today. I hope it's been really helpful for you guys. If you post any questions, what I'm going to do is I'll turn my webcam off and I'm going to keep the webinar going for about 5 or 10 minutes. So if you do have any questions, what I will do, I will get to them and I'll answer them, of course, in the next 5 minutes. So again, huge thanks to our panelists today. Have a great night, enjoy the sunshine, and I'll hopefully see you on Friday afternoon. Thanks, Chris and Ben.
Thank you.
Cheers, guys. Thank you.
Take care. Thank you.